Hey friend, my name is Camie Wilkie. I am so glad that you are here listening to the Bibles, Babies, and Business podcast. And I am here, my mission really is to teach Christian moms how to build online coaching businesses so that they can quit their 9-to-5 job, make money online, and stay home with their kids. And I know that as a wife, a mother, and either a business owner or future business owner, you have a lot on your plate right now. And time is very, very precious and probably very limited for you. You have a 9-to-5 job, probably. You have kiddos to feed, a hubs that's on his way home right now, which means you got dinner to make. Oh, and in the midst of all of this, you're also trying to build a business and get it off the ground so that you can have the time freedom that you have been praying for and be able to quit your job and be a stay-at-home mom full-time with your kids while making full-time income in your business. And I know because I've talked with so many of you that the number one thing that's probably holding you back from the growth in your business that you're wanting to have is needing more time to work on the business. So today we're going to go through 3 time management skills that I have learned over the years to get more done in less time, because time is the one thing, friend, that we do not ever get back. And if you are anything like me, you don't want to waste it. So grab your coffee, grab a notebook and pen, because you're definitely going to want to take notes on today's episode, and let's get to it. Hey mama, welcome to Bibles, Babies, and Business. Are you ready to start an online biz, quit your 9-to-5, and stay home with your kids? Are you up late at night Googling online business ideas, how to market myself, and how to get my first paying client? Do you have lots of ideas but feel overwhelmed when trying to figure out which ones to focus on so you can move your business forward? Hey there, I'm Camie. I'm a Christian, a wife, and a soon-to-be mom. A few years ago, I too felt drained by my day job and wished I could find a way to make money online. I wanted time freedom and the financial freedom to be a stay-at-home mom. But imposter syndrome kept creeping in and telling me, you could never make enough money doing that. And what if you do try and you fail? But then I discovered how to build an online coaching business from home. In this podcast, you'll find biblical principles for the Christian entrepreneur, online marketing tips to help you start and build an online coaching business from home, and a whole lot of mom life, because we're doing it all with a baby on our hip. So grab your Bible, snuggle your baby, and let's build your business, because you were made for this. All right, now before we dive into the practicals of this episode, I need to remind you that my free Convert More Clients workshop is just 1 week away. I cannot believe it. Next Monday, July 18th at 12 p.m. Central Time Zone inside of my private Facebook community. So many of you have already signed up. It makes me smile every single time that I get this little notification on my phone that tells me, yay, somebody else signed up. I'm just so excited to see all of you there. The mission of this workshop is to teach you how to sign your next 5 coaching clients in 60 days or less, even if you don't have a whole lot of extra time to be working on your business. Because again, I know that as a working wife and mom, time is limited and precious for you. That's why I want to teach you how to start a successful and profitable online coaching business in a time-efficient way that fits into the mom cracks of your day. It was not intended for that to rhyme, but it absolutely did. Time-efficient way that fits into the mom cracks of your day. I didn't even plan that. That was perfect. I love it. So if you haven't signed up yet, you have just 1 week left to do so. Again, it is Monday, July 18th at 12 p.m. Central inside of my Facebook group. Now, it will be recorded for those who are unable to join live, because I know that we have women all over, literally, like we have people in the United States. There's people in other countries that are inside of my Facebook group. So we have a lot of different time zones happening. It's going to be recorded if you're unable to join live. However, I do really believe that you're going to get the most value if you are joining us live, so you can ask your questions and get some real-time feedback and answers. But nevertheless, it will be recorded if you can't join live. So still sign up. The link below is there to The link to join, the link to save your seat is below in the show notes. It's www.camiewilke.com/free workshop. Come join me and the other ladies for a 1-hour completely free workshop on how to sign your next 5 coaching clients in 60 days or less, even if you don't have a whole lot of extra time to be working on your business. All right. So I have to tell you that when I first started my business back in 2019, I, like many of you, was also working another job at the time. My business is something that I was doing like as a side hustle, kind of like in between my work shifts. It was definitely a side hustle before it became my full-time hustle. And when I wasn't working at my daytime job, if you will, I was trying to find these little pockets of time to be working on my business because I wanted so badly. I just knew that my coaching business was what I was called to do full time. It was going to support not only my family financially, but it was also going to support my family from a time perspective, because another big desire that I have is to be a stay-at-home mom, which if maybe you're a new listener, maybe you're a long-time listener, but my husband and I are in the process of adoption right now, and we could literally get a call at any time and be like instant parents, which means I need, like not just want, but I need to have a flexible schedule or flexible business that can work around my life. But anyway, back to the story. So back in 2019, when I was working at my daytime job, but also working on my business, the problem that I face is that I did not have a whole lot of extra time to be working on the business. And the time that I did have that I could dedicate to my business, I didn't even know what it was that I should be doing in those pockets of time to move my business forward. And I have definitely learned a lot over the years about how to manage my time, what to spend my time on, what not to spend my time on. Learned a lot of that the hard way, and also how to get more done in less time with my business. Now, I don't want to paint a picture that I am perfect, because I am certainly not. I still make time management mistakes, but after running this business for over 3 years, I fully believe that you can generate full-time income in your business without working full-time hours. You can start a successful coaching business, sign clients, and make the money that you're wanting to make for your family in the mom cracks of your day. And one of the biggest skills that I love teaching my clients is how to start and build a successful, profitable online coaching business in a time-efficient way, because you aren't starting this business just to recreate another 9-to-5 job for yourself. I know that you are craving the time freedom to play more with your kids, to go on vacations, just you and your hubby, and be present during these years of raising littles that someday you're going to look back on as like, these were the good old days. I know that you want to be present for all of this. And I know that you want to say yes and steward all the roles that the Lord has called you to be a wife, to be a mother, and a business owner. So with that being said, today we're going to go through 3 time management skills that I have learned over the years to get more done in less time. So grab your notebook and pen. We're just going to hit the ground running, because again, I know you do not have time to waste here listening to like a podcast episode that's just going on and on and on and on. So let's just get right down to it. Time management skill number 1 is batching. Now, maybe you're familiar with it, maybe you're not, but let me just go ahead and explain to you what batching is and how you can implement it into your life, and more specifically into your business. So batching is grouping together similar tasks and completing them at either a certain time of day or a certain day itself, so that you can be accomplishing similar work at one time rather than sporadically completing random tasks. And this really helps to avoid bouncing from task to task to task and forcing your brain to constantly be shifting gears multiple times a day. This also helps to maximize your most naturally high skill points of the day or of the week. So for example, maybe you are feeling most creative in the mornings. So maybe the mornings is when you write your content for the week. This really helps to be productive and effective and avoid just this unnecessary amount of wasted time just bouncing from task to task to task. So I want to give you a couple more examples of how this could work. And really, batching is something that you can make completely customized to fit you. So an example of batching work based upon the time of day could be, again, maybe the mornings are your creative time. You feel really creative in the mornings, and that's the time you create your content. So anytime you're doing something creative, it's always in the mornings. And then maybe in the afternoons, you save that time for client calls, coaching, or maybe doing a mini training on your Instagram stories, because coaching on client calls and then coaching on your mini training on your Instagram story are similar tasks. And so you do any sort of coaching task in the afternoon. So that's an example how you could maybe split up your tasks, and group them to different times of the day. Creative work in the mornings, coaching work in the afternoons. Now, you also can batch work based upon the day of the week itself. So, for example, maybe Mondays are your content creation days for the week. You do everything creative on Mondays. And on Tuesdays, maybe you save 2 days for your client coaching calls. And maybe you do like a live training on Instagram. Maybe Wednesdays are for your administrative work, just kind of doing things that don't really fit into a coaching category. They don't really fit into a content creation category. It's kind of like maybe you're sending invoices to clients. Maybe you're catching up on a few emails. And maybe Thursdays you save that again for coaching calls. And then Fridays you finish up with anything that is left open from the week. So that's an example of how you can batch your work based upon the day of the week itself. Again, batching is something that you can fully customize to work for you, your mind, your brain, and your schedule. And it is an absolute game changer when it comes to being effective and productive and avoiding unnecessary wasted time by just randomly completing tasks. So that's point number 1, to batch. Point number 2, focus on purposeful money-making tasks when you have time to work on your business. So like, let's say the kids are going down for a nap and you have 2 hours to work on your business. I want you to use those 2 hours as effectively and productively as possible. I don't want you to be wasting these 2 hours on just like busy work that isn't actually going to move the needle forward. Again, we want to be productive and effective, not just busy. So we have to focus on tasks that make money in your business, that serve clients, that move the needle forward. So I want to give you a couple examples of some really purposeful money-making tasks in your business. So content creation would be one, creating content for your Instagram story, Instagram posts, coaching your clients. Okay, we as coaches, we have to be really cautious that we are still serving at a really high level of excellence after we sign the client. Like, let's not just put out our best effort to get the client, but after they sign the contract, let's keep that level of high service there. Let's keep excellence there for the duration of the time that our clients are working with us. So when you are coaching your clients, I want you to show up with just as much service and excellence as you did when you were trying to sign that client in the first place. So coaching your clients with service and excellence is definitely a purposeful task. Answering client Xoxo messages, providing, again, really high quality support, doing DM strategy, which is something that my clients learn in order to sign their own clients on Instagram. It is one of the best ways to sign clients effectively and quickly on Instagram using a DM strategy. If you want to learn more about DM strategy, be sure to come to the free Convert More Clients workshop. We'll talk about it more there. And then lastly, the last example of a purposeful money-making tasks is organizing maybe your calendar or maybe your monthly profit and loss report. Now, these are not all the purposeful tasks that you could ever do. These are just some examples to kind of get your brain flowing on, what are some of the things that I should be focusing on. Now, on the flip side of that, I want to give you some examples of non-purposeful tasks. These are things that don't really move the needle forward. They don't generate income. They don't serve your clients, and they certainly don't serve you. They are that would be scrolling mindlessly through Instagram during your work hours. You know from a couple episodes ago that I am a huge advocate for no scrolling. I think it's the definition of wasteful time. So scrolling mindlessly, overanalyzing your content to make sure it's quote unquote perfect. That is not purposeful. That is not a good use of your time. Trying to figure out the Instagram algorithm. That's not it. Don't do that. Don't spend your time doing that. And lastly, trying to manage too many social media platforms before you've conquered one of them. Friend, listen. Okay, let's have a little pep talk here for a second. If you have not closed at least $100,000 in your coaching business, I do not want you to be on more than 2 platforms, okay? I honestly would prefer that you just stick with one, and I would prefer it to be Instagram. However, if you want to do Instagram and Facebook, fine. That's totally fine. But if you have not closed at least $100,000 in your business, you should not be on more than 2 platforms. It should not be Instagram, YouTube, email marketing, and Facebook, and Pinterest. No, that is a waste of your time. And honestly, it really waters down your marketing because you're not able to put your full effort into one platform and really monetize that one platform. Okay, so those are some examples of purposeful versus non-purposeful tasks in your business. When you get that ever so precious time to work on your business in the midst of all the other things that you have to do, I want you to be focusing on those things that are purposeful, that are serving your clients, and that are generating income for your business. And if you are like, Camie, I need more clarity than that. I need you to spell it out for me. Then come join the free Convert More Clients workshop, and I will spell it all out for you. Everything that you need to do to sign more clients. Okay, so that was number 2. When you do get time to work on your business, focus on purposeful, client-serving, and money-making tasks. And lastly, number 3, this is a big one, limit distractions. Now, I know that this may seem obvious, but I really do want to give you some practical ways that you can limit distractions. I wrote down several things. Let's just run down in a list format. Please turn off your social media notifications. This is a game changer. I do not want your phone to ring every single time that someone likes a photo on your Instagram. No, that will constantly draw your attention away from whatever it is that you were doing at the time when your phone did that little ding to let you know that somebody liked your photo, okay? Turn off all your social media notifications and then go in and check once or twice or a few times a day when you are specifically going on the app to do something for your business. But you should not be constantly getting notifications from Facebook, Pinterest, Instagram, Twitter, all the places. No, please no. It is a game changer, I promise. It really will help you limit distractions and focus more. The next one, schedule out your work tasks for the week so that you know when you're going to be checking certain things off your list. Here's something that I have found for myself. If I don't know when I'm going to get all my tasks done, like if I have 25 different tasks that I need to do this week and I don't have it scheduled when I'm going to do each one of those tasks, I will bounce from thing to thing to thing to thing to thing before I even finished or completed the previous task, because in my brain, I'm panicking of oh my gosh, I have to work on this. Oh, no, that has to be done. Oh, no, that has to be done. If you just schedule out for your week when you're going to accomplish each of your tasks, your brain can relax and know that, hey, I have a specific time and place set up in my schedule for that specific task, so I can relax and focus on the task at hand. Again, this helps to avoid any sort of scatterbrained feeling that you may be having, or I know that I have when I'm not organized with my calendar. So schedule out all of the tasks that you need to do, have a day and a time in which you're completing it. The next tip for limiting distractions, have a workspace that's specifically designed for work. Now, this doesn't mean that you have to have a home office. You can if that's feasible for you. However, this could be any space in your home or maybe the local coffee shop, any place that you go to work. There's a book that is called, I forget what it's called, but it's this book that is completely written on habits and how to have good habits to just really accomplish the goals that you have in your life. It's a really famous book. One second. Let me look up and see what it is. Okay, here it is. It's called Atomic Habits by James Clear. And in that book, when I was listening to that book, he was saying that you need to have a specific space set up for each thing in your life. For example, one space where you sit down and work, one space where you sit down and eat your meals. When you start cross-contamination of like all your spaces, and like you start eating in your workspace and you start working in your eating space. It like confuses your brain. You need to have a space dedicated just for work. It doesn't have to be a formal office, but just a space where like you go, where your brain is like, okay, I know that in this space, this is where she works. Okay, let's get into work mode. All right. So have a space designed for work. Next tip for limiting distractions: keep work blocks specifically for work. So when you are scheduling things out in your calendar and you are like, okay, I got 2 hours. I have 2 hours to work right now. You got a 2-hour work block. That means that you should not be folding laundry in that work block. And I know that this is specifically challenging when you are working from home, because your home might be like screaming at you saying like, the dishes need to be done. The laundry needs to be folded. Your work block needs to be for work. You can have other blocks of time set aside for homemaking and cleaning and spending time with your kids. But you really need to treat your business like you would an office job. Like you would not bring your laundry to the office to fold during your work hours. Your boss would be furious. He would be very confused why you brought your laundry from home to the office, because this is not the place for you to fold your laundry. This is the place for you to work. This is the same approach we need to have with our business. Keep your work blocks for work tasks. Okay, last tip for limiting distractions, and this is specifically if you have little ones at home. Okay, try to schedule your work blocks for times in which your kids are either napping, playing, maybe they're at daycare or school, or maybe with a nanny or with your mom or with your husband. Now, ladies, this may mean that you need to have a meeting and communicate with your husband that you need his help. And together you guys can set up days and times in which you can swap the kids. He has the kids and you can go sneak off and work for a few hours on your business. Okay, let's just recap really quick the 3 time management skills that we went through today. So time management skill number 1, batch your work. Okay, group together similar tasks and complete them at certain times so that your brain doesn't have to jump from task to task to task and get really like confused and constantly have to switch gears because you're accomplishing work sporadically. So batch your work. Number 2, focus on purposeful, money-making, and client-serving tasks during your work times. Please avoid busy work that doesn't really move the needle forward. Scrolling on Instagram, overanalyzing and trying to make everything perfect, trying to figure out the Instagram algorithm, trying to manage too many social media platforms at the same time. All of that is examples of just busy stuff that you may be spending your time, and might I even say wasting your time with, when you could be focusing on more purposeful money-making and client-serving tasks. And lastly, limit distractions. Friend, I know that time is limited and precious to you, and you may be wondering if it's even possible to start a successful online coaching business with the little time that you do have in your life. And I'm here to tell you that it is possible. God would not have called you to become an online coach and business owner if it wasn't possible. And I want you to think about just for a moment where you could be a year from now if you start today. You could have quit your 9-to-5 job. You could be making money online. You could be replacing that income from your 9-to-5 job, all the while staying home with your kids and paying clients during their nap time. The time freedom that you are praying for is on the other side of your obedience and saying yes to the calling that God has over your life to start the coaching business. And I want to help you do that for free. There are only 7 days left to save your seat for my free Convert More Clients workshop happening next Monday, July 18th. Inside that workshop, I'm going to be covering how to discover your God-given gifts so that you can turn it into a profitable online coaching business. We're going to go over how to get clear on your ideal client, your coaching niche, and your messaging. We're going to cover how to create an irresistible offer that your potential clients are going to want to say yes to. We're going to talk about how to connect with your ideal clients on Instagram using things like an Instagram audit, DM strategy, content, all those things. I'm going to show you how to market yourself online. We're also going to talk about how to make consistent sales and sell your coaching packages with ease without any icky or sleazy or weird sales tactics. All of this while being a present wife and mother to your kids, to your husband and your kids. Friend, you need to know that this is not an either or decision. You do not have to choose between being a loving and present wife and a successful online coach. You don't have to choose between being a patient and present mother and an impactful business owner. God is not going to ask you to sacrifice the other roles that He's called you to in your life in order to say yes to this one, in order to say yes to starting the business. He's not going to ask you to choose between those. If He is calling you to it, then He is going to help you steward it. All of it. Your marriage, your motherhood, your business. But you can only do this if you are partnered with Him. I don't believe that you are here listening to this podcast on accident. I specifically prayed that God would bring the right women, not only to this podcast, but to this specific episode. And I believe, friend, that He honestly orchestrated this moment to give you an opportunity to say yes to the calling that He's been whispering to you for honestly probably a while now. It's time to start the coaching business. The world needs the gift that God has placed inside of you. And the beautiful thing is, again, that you're not going to have to sacrifice your role as a wife and a mother in order to say yes to this call to becoming an online coach. You can do all of it. I want you to let the Lord guide you and let me support you as you walk in obedience. Like I said, there are 7 days left to sign up for the free Convert More Clients workshop. It will take you 15 seconds to save your seat for a free 1-hour workshop that could honestly change your life. Think about where you could be a year from now. The link to join is down in the show notes, www.camiewilke.com/free workshop. I love you, friend, and I'll see you there. Hi, friend. Thank you so much for tuning in to the Bibles, Babies, and Business podcast. If you learned something from today's episode, or if it blessed you in any way, I would love to know. You can head over to Apple Podcasts and leave me a review, and I may just read your review on the show. Thank you again for being here, and I pray that God would fill you with peace in your faith, your motherhood, and your business, because you were made for this.